The morning sun rose over Hillcrest High School, painting the old classrooms gold. Students lined up for assembly, whispering and laughing as usual, except one girl. Her name was Sarah Miller. Sarah stood apart, her face cold, her fists tight, her heart carrying stories nobody knew. That morning, no one could have guessed that before the day ended, Sarah would fight every teacher in the school and change the system forever. Sarah was in SS3, her final year. She was tall, bold, and strong. People said she was stubborn, rude, and violent. Teachers called her a troublemaker. But those who looked closely into her eyes saw something deeper: pain. She lived with her mother, Mrs. Miller, who sold vegetables by the roadside. Her father wasn't dead, just gone. He left when Sarah was 7, after years of beating her mother. Sarah saw it all: the blood, the broken plates, the tears. And from that day, she made a promise to herself: no one would ever hurt her or make her cry again. That promise turned her heart to stone. It started quietly, with words that cut deeper than a knife. During English class, Mr. Johnson, her teacher, mocked her after she failed her essay. "No matter how many times you sit in this class, you will never make sense. Maybe you should just go and sell pepper with your mother." The class burst into laughter. Sarah didn't laugh. She didn't even reply. She just packed her books, stood up, and walked out. That was the beginning of the fire. A week later, there was a school inspection. The principal, Mrs. Carter, ordered everyone to clean their classrooms. Sarah was sweeping quietly when Mrs. Grace, the mathematics teacher, walked in. "Sarah, go fetch water," she barked. Sarah replied politely, "Ma, I'm still sweeping." Mrs. Grace frowned. "Are you talking back at me?" Before Sarah could explain, a hot slap landed on her cheek. Sarah froze. Her heart stopped. Every memory of her father beating her mother came rushing back. She whispered, trembling, "Don't touch me again." But Mrs. Grace slapped her a second time. That was the moment everything broke. Sarah pushed her away hard. The teacher stumbled, hitting her elbow on the table. Students screamed. Chairs fell. Sarah ran out crying, but before she could reach the gate, the school security caught her and dragged her to the staff room. The staff room turned into a courtroom. All the teachers gathered around her. Mr. Johnson, the same teacher who had mocked her, shouted first, "You are a disgrace. Students like you should be expelled." Mrs. Carter, the principal, added angrily, "Call her mother. We will teach this girl a lesson today." Sarah said nothing. Her fist shook. Her face was wet with sweat, not tears. Then Mr. Banson, the PE teacher, tried to grab her by the arm. That was it. Sarah exploded. She kicked, screamed, and threw chairs. Anyone who came close got pushed aside. The staff room turned into chaos. Files flying, glass breaking. Sarah fought like a lion, not because she wanted to, but because her soul was burning. When the security men finally overpowered her, 5 teachers were injured. Someone had recorded the whole fight on their phone. By evening, it was everywhere. WhatsApp, TikTok, Facebook. The caption read, "Girl beats all her teachers in school." People reacted differently. Some laughed. Some called her evil. Some called her brave. And others called her a victim of pain the world refused to see. At home, her mother cried all night. Sarah just sat in silence, staring at the wall. The next morning, the local education board arrived with reporters. Everyone wanted to see the girl who fought her teachers. When Sarah was asked why she did it, she said softly, "Because nobody listens when you are in pain. They just call you stubborn, but they don't know what you've been through." Her voice shook. For the first time, the teachers looked ashamed. Mrs. Carter tried to defend herself. "We only wanted to discipline her." Sarah interrupted. Discipline is not humiliation. I'm not an animal. You mock students, you slap them and call it correction, but you don't know who you are breaking inside. Silence filled the room. When the board investigated, they found a dark truth. Hillcrest High School had a long history of emotional and physical abuse. Poor students were mocked. Some teachers used canes until students bled. Sarah wasn't the first to suffer. She was just the first to fight back. Instead of expelling her, the board suspended the teachers involved. Counselors were brought in. The principal, Mrs. Carter, was forced to step down, and Sarah was offered therapy. Months passed. Hillcrest High School became a new kind of school. Corporal punishment was banned. Students were allowed to speak freely. A safe talk club was formed where anyone could share their struggles without fear. Sarah became one of its leaders. She spoke to younger students who were angry, broken, or bullied. She told them, "You don't have to fight with your hands. Fight with your voice. Speak, don't strike." Her story went viral again, this time not for violence, but for healing. The same teachers who once feared her now respected her courage. During graduation, Sarah was asked to give a speech. She walked to the podium, looked around the hall, and said, "I once fought all the teachers in this school, but today I want to thank them, not for what they did, but for what I learned. I learned that pain can become strength. I learned that silence destroys faster than anger, and I learned that forgiveness is the strongest fight of all." Her mother wept quietly. Even Mr. Johnson wiped his eyes. Sarah ended with words that silenced the hall. "Don't judge people by their anger. Sometimes anger is the only language pain understands. But when you listen, truly listen, you can turn that anger into love." The hall erupted in applause. That day, Sarah wasn't the girl who fought teachers. She was the girl who changed everything. Every angry person has a story. Listen before you judge. Violence never brings peace, but silence can destroy faster. Schools should teach with love, not fear. A child's anger is a cry for help, not punishment. And forgiveness isn't weakness, it's freedom. Years later, Sarah became a motivational speaker and child counselor. She visited schools across the country, speaking about emotional abuse, depression, and the power of kindness. She often told her audience, "I once fought all my teachers, but what I was really fighting was the world's misunderstanding." And whenever she spoke, people listened, not out of fear, but out of respect.